Hello everybody, and welcome back to Chapter Master, the Horus Heresy mod. Yeah, I was going to do a, just a quick one-shot as, thought maybe try and recreate the Iron Warriors or something, but I was reading Malevolence, and I learnt about what the Blood Angels were like before they were the Blood Angels. And I felt, A, I'd love to talk about this, because it's so interesting, for the lore and stuff, and B, I thought I'd try and, give them a playthrough. So, we have created the Revenant Legion, the Ninth Legion. As a legion, strength maximum, cooperation minimum, because Malcador the Sigillite actually wanted to have the Ninth Legion purged from Imperial records. So that gives you an idea of how bad they were. Purity and stability, pretty high. Interesting enough, the Blood Angel's gene seed, or the Revenant Legion gene seed, was able to be implanted into even mutants, and it would actually work perfectly fine. Very interesting how compatible the gene seed was with different lines of humanity. But yeah, melee enthusiast crafters. Yes, they don't become crafters until... Actually, you're right. They don't actually become crafters until after Sanguinius shows up. So we'll get rid of that. And we'll go back for Lightning Warriors. But Siege, Black Rage, and Tech Heresy. Well, they didn't actually become Tech Heretics till later. So we'll leave that as well. So we've got gene seed purity and stability. Alright. Revenant Legion. They did recruit from Terra back then. No name of any ships or anything, so we're just gonna... once again, no battle cry or anything, but interesting. They had grey armour, but they used to daub their left pauldrons with blood. And that would be kind of a symbolic thing before they went into battle. So, I felt I would stick with that tradition. Of course, yes, they actually did. The Ninth Legion, or the Revenant Legion, actually had a thing where they would actually feast upon their allies and enemies after battle. They would feast on their allies because doing so would gain them the memories and experiences of their dead comrades, so it would boost their combat abilities and, be a way to honor their memories. And it was also because they were freaking nuts. Take the World Eaters with the Butcher's Nails attached, except the Ninth Legion don't have the Butcher's Nails. Throw them into combat situations that would make the Death Guard and the Iron Warriors pause for thought, and that was the Revenant Legion. It was crazy. I thought it was fascinating. But yes, so we are the Revenant Legion. Alright. Now, the Revenant Legion... Basically, before Sanguinius showed up, the Revenant Legion were mongrels. So as I said, they recruited from mutants, lower class human areas. They were pretty, pretty mongrelized. And what was so interesting is, a lot of the other legions hated their guts and would, not want to fight alongside them. They ended up being really ostracized, like, basically the Ninth Legion, well, no one would deal with them. I accidentally pressed the wrong button there, no matter. Now we can kill some people. But yes, so the Ninth Legion, they were basically, they were amongst the largest of the early legions, and their numbers were constantly being, updated with new warriors that they'd recruit from all leagues of life. And it was interesting, while the Great Crusade was still clearing out the Sol system, and they were, reuniting with Mars, clearing out the shipyards of Jupiter, what the Emperor ordered was he sent the Ninth Legion to die, basically. He sent them into Neptune. And all of the systems around Neptune were a hive of pirates, bandits, raiders, and Xenos. And basically sent them in to delay those guys from attacking Terra until the Emperor could get, the Crusade under full swing. And basically just sent them there and said, kill as many as you can before you die. And, promptly didn't give a shit about them. But what happened was he discovered that not only that when they found them, found them again, that the Ninth Legion still existed, they were actually even higher strength than they were before, because they started recruiting and chucking gene seed in to the children of the mutants and human people they liberated, in air quotes. So it's just utterly fascinating. And the Revenant Legion, they were called the Revenant Legion by Malkador the Sigillite, because that was how he compared their actions. I thought this whole thing was so awesome. Like, when you think of the Blood Angels now, oh, 2 lost to the Red first, that's annoying. When you think of the Blood Angels now, how honourable, noble, and respected they are, and then you think of this is where they came from, it's amazing the reforms and stuff Sanguinius, and the influence Sanguinius managed to have upon the Legion. I thought that was just awesome. Oh yeah, here it is. I'm sorry, I've got the book beside me just for facts. Oh, Tyranids. Cool, we can slaughter them. But yeah, yeah. When the here we go. Yeah, when the Emperor returned to reach Neptune, it was to find the Ninth Legion alive and well. Indeed, despite the loss of many of the original complement, the size of the force was almost the same, bolstered by recruits taken from among the dregs of Neptune's barely human population. Where others might have floundered or fallen, the Ninth had grown only stronger, rising from the ashes of defeat like a bloody phoenix. Now that is pretty cool. And as it said, yeah, the Ninth Legion just get thrown into every shithole. Like, places that the Death Guard would be going, or the Iron Warriors would be going, hang on a minute, why are we being sent here? It's just really, really interesting sort of lore. As I said, Malkador the Sigillite wanted to get the Ninth Legion purged. It's so cool. And then Sanguinius showed up and united everyone again, which I think was pretty awesome. Ooh, oh, ancient ruins. But yeah, as I said, this is just a one-shot, 20-minute sort of thing. For fun, really. Actually, since we've got a full-strength chapter, I want to actually, while we're poking about with this, I want to actually, I do actually like that colour scheme, believe it or not. That's a good colour scheme. But I want to muck about with armour. So, wow, that is rather expensive, but I want to chuck off like 10 suits of Mark. I hate you, how you have to do that. Be nice if you could just select a squad. I want to see how... We're going to send squad of Mark III plate. And... where have we got... I want to see how well Mark III plate holds up to damage. So we're going to give these guys Mark III armor, storm shields, and chain axes. And we give them chain axes. That should be interesting. Also, while we're poking about with different armor types, I've already messed about with Mark IV. Artificial armor, see, plus 10 melee is not too bad. Oh yeah, I want to try and figure out how I get access to Tartaros. Let's see what we can trade. Minor artifacts, Terminator armor. Now, I want to know... Let's just ask for one suit, right? Ask for... really? 100? Alright, 200. Wow, that's bullshit prices. I was going to see if they could trade me Tartaros armor for that. Interesting, interesting. Terminator armor, tech priest minor artifact. So they can't give me... It doesn't appear to be able to give me... Crusade license, GNC, STC fragment. And... I was interested to know where I could get my hands on Archaeotech weapon. I know Hell Rifles you can get from Radical Inquisitors. See, I thought Hell Rifles you could actually buy from the Inquisition. Is that not true? Oh, I haven't met them yet. Okay, no, that's alright. But yeah, I was trying to poke about with different armor classes and types. Power swords, force weapon, see. Considerators, heavy flavors. Company standards, I think you one of your tech marines to make them. Archaeotech weapons. The Tartaros pattern armor. Oh, see, we can make our own Terminator plates for cheaper than bloody what the Mechanicus is offering it for. I've poked about with Mark 4. Mark 8. See, Mark 8 doesn't give you any bonuses. It does have armor 22 armor class. But Corvus is the 10% range. That has the same armor class as Mark 8. But it gives you plus 5 melee and plus 5 ranged. Also, it's cheaper than Iron Armor. Although Iron Armor is got 30 armor class. Right. Re-equip with Mark 4 Maximus. Right, I'm going to try and offload. Actually, why don't we offload a chaplain, an apothecary? Oh. Just thinking, there's ancient ruins over on this planet, aren't we? By the way, if you're wondering why I'm dicking about, it's because I'm actually using this as an opportunity to explore some of the armor classes, weapons, and forts I've been having. So, just buy me a moment, if you don't mind. Right. Transfer them to first company. And then what we might do is see if we can test out apothecary, tech marine, and I'd like to know how well you guys perform. Explore the ruins. Excellent. 5 demons. Okay. Aww. Oh, 4 power fists, 3 combi flamers, and 1 plasma pistol. Okay. I was hoping to be able to use these guys in a battle to see how resilient they are. Yeah, because they've got 30 armor class, which is 30 armor plus 8, because of the storm shield, plus 30 HP. Chain axes are 80 damn melee splash. Mark 6, that ups 5% melee, plus 5% ranged. That's not too bad either. Alright, well, we may as well keep killing some stuff for a little while. Now, out of action points. Alright. Full strength raid. Intriguing, but yeah. Back to the Blood Angels. So yeah, as the Revenant Legion, they were pretty much ostracized, shit on. They also had a really interesting habit. It was kind of cool and also a bit creepy. So their Chpter master, their Legion master, Isandor, Ishildor Osiris. He wasn't the same guy. Every time you die, what would happen is the next in line would eat the previous Legion Master's brain to gain his memories, knowledge, and experience, and then take on his identity. So, really, the Legion Master never really died, and you can argue that he didn't actually die because of how, he still had the same memories as all the previous Legion Masters, although it was just a different guy inside the armor plate. But I thought that was just an interesting thing, and it's interesting to see, the different aspects of how the Blood Angels, or the Revenant Legion, were before Sanguinius showed up. And you tend to forget about the fact that eating flesh allows them to gain memories. I mean, I know Aaron Dembski-Bowden brings it up in some of his novels time to time, but overall, that's one of the things they don't usually bring up. Also, it's annoying that it keeps giving different numbers of weapons and stuff. I'm kind of sad about that. I'd like to be able to just see what the Mark III veterans can do. Right. Fight the fleet battle. Seems glitched out. Oh well. Attack! Why not? Fight! But yeah. So it was interesting, and then the Sanguinius was shown up, and he reborn the Legion. It was quite cool. And as I said, Sanguinius originally served most of his original, guardianship under Horus, which is how they ended up becoming such close friends. It was because Horus basically taught Sanguinius, how the Imperium works, how to run a legion, and so that's why they ended up having such a good relationship throughout the entirety of the heresy, which was so awesome. And it's kind of cool, how they've got friends into them and things. Yeah. I haven't actually gotten up to reading about the White Scars yet. I've always liked the White Scars, though. I think they're pretty cool. Although, just as one thing for Malevolence, I'm a bit annoyed about. Flicking through the rooks, there's no rules for Sanguinary Guard. Sanguinary Guard are like a staple of the Blood Angels. I honestly thought you would have had the Sanguinary Guard as a special unit. But instead they've got Crimson Paladin Terminators, which didn't know they were a thing, but okay. They've got Dawnbreaker Cohorts, which are jump pack infantry. I can accept that as Blood Angels. It's kind of their thing. Flying Dreadnoughts, which, come on guys, really? And Special Legion Destroyers. And as for characters, they've got Ralderon, that's great. We've got a new guy called Judicator Ashta Crone. He seems pretty cool. His rules are not too bad and his fluff's cool. But that's it. Where's Azkaellon? Where's Amit? Come on, you should have added Amit. The first guy to go, to embrace the Black Rage. The first guy to accidentally team kill fellow Imperial servants. A warrior who Khan himself dubbed the Flesh Terror. A warrior who was the champion of the bloody 12th Legion pit fighting duels. To the point where, as I said, the 12th Legion gave him his moniker. I don't know why you wouldn't have added Amit in there. And Azkaellon, the Chief Sanguinary Guard, Sanguinius' personal bodyguard, you should have added him into there. And as for Sanguinius' rules, I think he's a bit underpowered, personally. He's supposed to be able to match Horus. He's supposed to be able to stand up to Lemon Russ. Like Russ himself says, I probably couldn't defeat Sanguinius in combat. Yet his rules seem a little bit piss weak. The spear is bloody good, but all of his rules seem to rely on him needing to get the charge. Oh, traitors! Yeah, that way. As for the White Scars, I like some of their rules. As I said, I haven't read their fluff, but I've read their rules and special units. The Kesheg is good. I like they have Kinjar, but no. Right, they have Kinjar, but where is it's not Kinjar. Where is? Trying to think of the name. Think of the name. Yeah. Damn it. It's not Kinjar. Who is it? Oh, my brain's trying to think of it. There's the Chief Stormseer of the White Scars Legion. One of Khan's personal friends from before when they became traitors. Before they actually became the White Scars. I've kind of forgotten. Chain Axes are doing alright. But yeah. Moderate damage. Nothing too bad. Alright, load back in. But yeah, they should have added Kinjar. They added Kinjar, which is cool. But they should have added the Chief Stormseer as well. I'm kind of sad they didn't. Although the Horus Heresy tend to ignore librarians and stuff in general. I suppose they follow the Edict of Nicaea as well. Right. Alright. End turn. there's major corruption. Why can we not... can we attack the corruption? Seems a bit glitched out here. But yeah, Khan's rules himself don't seem too bad. As I said, the White Scars assault units, the Ebon Keshig, all that seemed pretty cool. But, yeah, I want to read this a bit more, but as I said, I'm slightly a bit weird by the Horus Heresy, like the rulebook release schedule. How I would have done it personally, I know might be a bit arrogant to speak like that, but why can I not purge the worlds that have major corruption? That must be a glitch. But yeah, as I was saying, how I would do it, personally... Right, we'll launch a full strength attack. I would have done... See, yeah, the release schedule is weird. I would have done Ispan free. So I would have done Betrayal as is, you know, Iron War... Sorry. Sons of Horus, Emperor's Children, Death Guard, and... World Eaters. Then I would have done... Counter-attack. I would have added new units for the original 4 Traitor Legions, plus the Iron Hand, Salamanders, and Raven Guard. Sorry, I'm trying to focus on the game and figure out why it's glitching out on me. But I can never quite figure that out. Yeah. But yeah, so I would have done Betrayal, Counter-attack with the Royal Legions. And I would have also added new units like the Cacophony and stuff for the original traitors. And then I would have done Massacre, which would have had, you know, the other 4 main traitor legions. Then I would have done... Personally, I would have done the Imperial Army book with Imperial Army, Traitor Imperial Army, Mechanicum, Dark Mechanicum in it. Then I would have done the Prospero. Then I would have done the Wider War, which would have added the Blood Angels, White Scars, Blood Angels, White Scars, Dark Angels, plus up the Chaos Legions, plus updated, well, Chaos Demons, plus updated rule sets and units for the other Traitor Legions. Yeah, it seems weird to me how they've done the release schedule. I mean, the Dark Angels are the only Legion without any models or rules? Off to me. See, I think Mark IV armor is definitely way better than Mark III. Just looking at all the different stats, I honestly think the best armor, or Mark IV is really bloody good, but I think Artificial armor is definitely really good for melee because of that plus 10 melee bonus. Terminator armor isn't too bad, but I think Mark IV, just like with the Floor itself, interestingly enough, Mark IV is definitely the best, because you get 22 armor, which is way above Mark VI or Mark VIII, but you get plus 5 to both melee and ranged. And then you could stack that with... you could stack that with different weapons, abilities, and equipment, so... Stack that with a storm shield, or even stack that with a boarding shield and a bolter and something, would give you plus HP and armor. I think that's the logical way to do it. Oh, we actually have an artifact. Oh, Dreadnought armor. Oh, that's cool. I like that you can actually pick up Dreadnought plates now. Can you build them? Vehicles. You can build Dreadnoughts. I'm so grateful for that, because it was always an annoyance to have to either find Dreadnought chassis or just, you know, go without. So that's pretty cool. And ships. Yeah, ships are still good, decent cost. I'm appreciative of that. But yes, I think that's all for me for now. Sorry, this is just a one-shot. I'm trying to maybe rehash some of my old series ideas, like Traitor Legions, or long plays or something to keep myself fresh in this game, because I think this Heresy mod has a lot of potential, but I don't want to retread old ground, but I also don't want to scrape the bottom of the barrel for new ideas. So if you have any suggestions, let me know, and I'll try and figure out something a bit more sustainable for the future. Ideally, I think it should be one shot and one part of a continued series, whether that's a long play or Momentous Redemption or something like that. So maybe 1 to 2 Chapter Master a week, I think. Plus whatever 40k stuff I have on hand. I should reinstall Dawn of War 1. Maybe play that for a bit. Who knows. Anyway, lads, I guess that's all from me, and I shall catch you all again another time.